morning, folks. We are here live with our cup of coffee.
Is anybody on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, beautiful people.
Yeah.
Good morning, family. Our crew. We're here connecting people, connecting relationships for epic wins. Our crew. It's a beautiful Friday morning. It's the Friday before Good Friday. That's why they say good morning. You're supposed to feel good even in the midst of. Oh, you did it?
I did it.
Why do I always do this? I was doing something else. I was looking for my reading. That's what I was doing. Sorry, my bad. That's on me today. It's on me today. I like to blame you.
I know you like to. Normally I get blame. Once you take some responsibility.
Because usually it's your fault.
What is that about? Why does husband always get blamed for every darn thing?
Yeah, because it's usually your fault. Usually. And if it's not your fault, we make it your fault.
I don't know what that's about.
Hey, Lisa.
I knew the job was dangerous when I took it.
You did. You did.
Knew the job was dangerous when I took it.
Trying to put this on.
You got no idea?
I'm not. Okay, let's see. What am I doing here? Can you help me here?
Okay, see, here you go.
Can you help me put the little thing on there?
Rescue. All right. Hold on.
I'm sorry, Lisa. And hey, IG family. I thought we were ready. I don't like the way that's on the other side. I want to put this on the other side.
I gotta get that splitter. I got that splitter, but sometimes I don't know. I'll try to get the splitter set up.
Good morning, Lisa. Good morning. Yeah, I like to put it on the other side, but okay, that looks weird. That looks weird. But it's all right. This is the least of our problems, right? It's the least of our problems. I got my love t-shirt on. You guys see my Philadelphia love t-shirt? Actually, I got this from Martha's Vineyard. It's peace and love from Martha's Vineyard. It's actually one of my favorite t-shirts. So I thought that I would wear this on Friday, just because I'm feeling loved. Love trumps hate. And if now more than ever before, we need to unite through love, through peace, through joy, through happiness, through serenity, through care, right? We have to care for one another. And this is a time. Even when we're apart, we need to feel united because we win. We win if we stick together. We win if we're stronger together. We win if we share information. We win this battle of this invisible enemy, this virus that's taking people out, if we band together to do the necessary things. I love the color of your glasses and shirt. Don't apologize. Love it. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Thank you. I appreciate it.
She tuned in. Good morning.
Good morning, Robin. Good morning. Robin and I communicated yesterday because she had 2 losses in her community and in her family. So prayers out to you, Robin. You know, Morgan and I are here. This is our sister from another mother, and we love her. We love her family. She's been amazing. She has a wonderful organization called Celebrating Sisterhood, and she works for my favorite senator, Senator Vincent Hughes. He's a fighter, and he's fighting for all of us. Hey, April, my cousin from California. Well, I keep saying from California, not from California, from Baltimore, but you live in California.
Well, you live in California
by way of Baltimore, yeah. So give my nieces and nephews a big hug and kiss for me. Good morning, Larissa. Good morning, IG family.
You have Alyssa on, Allison on.
Allison.
Tracy
Hi, Allison.
On.
Some people were at.
Somebody named Mama Scoops. Who's Mama Scoops?
I don't know who Mama Scoops is.
Alicia. What's up, Alicia? How you doing, girl? Good to see you.
Okay, babe.
You gotta shout out for it.
Okay.
Have a little fun with it.
Okay. All right, babe.
You don't have to be so straight-laced, babe. This is not
I
national
know,
TV. It's just us at the crib. That's all.
I know.
Having a courageous conversation with
So welcome to Courageous Conversations Connect Space. This is a place where we're having our quarantine talks. This is actually day 12 of our quarantine talks, and it's week 3. We're wrapping up week 3 of this space. So I want you guys to share. I want you to get your watch parties gone. You know we are here every Monday through Friday for the quarantine talk. So watch party, share, text your people, do a text chat, send some smiley faces, some thumbs up. That helps with the algorithm. So the more you guys do that, the more that other people will know that this is a safe place that we're having, where we can have these conversations. And today, I know, is a really important conversation that we're going to have about grief and loss. We've been talking about that pretty much all week, and fear due to insecurities and the unknown. That's what we're talking about today, because I just feel like if you're like me, I try to boundary taking in too much of the media. So I try to give myself doses of it so I'll know what's going on in the world. Morning, maybe a time to talk, watch in the morning, and then an afternoon, and then in the evening. Meanwhile, working and seeing clients. But most people have bandwidth, quite frankly, for, let's say, I don't know, 2 weeks. Now we're into week 3. And people's patience is getting thin, people's tolerance is getting thin, people's ability to summon that internal strength and that resilience is getting thin. But I say the devil is a liar, because I think that I know we win if we continue to build each other up, we continue to support each other, we continue to create platforms. Yes, I see my thumbs up and my smiley faces. Please continue to do that. Hey, Sonny, good morning. I believe that we win this. I know that we can win this battle. We get new information every day, and new information sometimes is good, sometimes it can be a little confusing, but we have to share what we know, pay attention to the experts, and then process the information so that you can make good decisions for yourself and your family. Ask yourself, if you're getting a little cabin fever and you want to go to that grocery store and you really don't need to, because those places, the grocery stores, well, we need food. They're trying to do their due diligence to keep everything clean, but now they're telling you that when you get your groceries, you need to come home and spend time wiping everything down, wiping, the surfaces, and wiping your groceries down. So that's another task, because you don't want to bring this virus in living on a surface that could be there for several days and then infect you. So just like you wouldn't bring something toxic into your home, whether it be the groceries and this virus, or whether it be yourself and your own emotions, we need to have a clearing and wipe things down. So do you really need to go for that second time to the grocery store, or can you go once a week and get everything that you need for your family? Well, what does that require? Smiley faces, hearts, give me a thumbs up. What does it require? It requires for us to plan. You all know that I say that people don't plan to fail. I think that people fail to plan. Planning is essential. In the beginning, 3 weeks ago when we started this, I talked about your plan. How many of you out there, if you've been on this platform with me and we've been together, how many of you out there have your plan? Do you have your safety care plan, right? Do you have the medications if somebody should get sick? Have you assigned someone to take care of someone if they should get sick? Do you have the medication that they are on already? Are their phones charged? Are you communicating with your family via text chat or FaceTime? If you have different phones, have you downloaded Google Duo so that you can see that person, so that you can sort of check their temperature to see if they're well? Do you have a thermometer in your home? These are things that are part of that safety care plan, and everybody needs to be on the same page. when you see right now, when there's chaos, there's discourse. When there's discourse, there's confusion. When there's confusion, there's dissension, right? And quite frankly, there's ultimately destruction. So we need to be on the same page. We see at the larger levels of government, the chaos that's going on, but we don't have to subscribe to that. We can be on one accord here in our own homes, in our own communities, however stressful it is. Helen Nurse, shout out to the Nurse family that was on the Corona Chronicles with Charlie Lewis, my good friend Charlie Lewis, the other day. She said that she considers her family, she has 3 children and her husband, and they're not stuck at home, she said, they're safe at home. And I was like, ooh, I love that reframe. Y'all know that therapists, we deal with reframes, right? So we try to take the same information that's factual and reframe it, not lying to ourselves, if you will, but reframe it from a negative to a positive. So if you're having a little cabin fever, if you're a little overwhelmed by being at home, if you're not a first responder and you don't have to be out, think of yourself as being safe at home, having the privilege of, first of all, being in a home, because that's a privilege right now. There are people in the global environment, in the global world, that don't have a home to be in, so they can't even practice social distancing, which, by the way, is more physical distancing, because social distancing, of course, does not mean social isolation. It doesn't mean psychological isolation. It doesn't mean emotional isolation, and it doesn't have to mean spiritual isolation. Those points of isolation, and there will be some people that will be isolated if they're sick and they can't get to their family. But if you're home, if you're safe at home, and you have the privilege of being able to be on a computer or a phone, then you can stay connected. Just like our business says, connections matter. And more than ever before, we have to stay connected. Let's see who else is on. We get into, hey, China, good morning, dear. On, and she says, I hear you back there. Somebody told you in the background. Sonny. Yeah, he keeps it real, and he keeps us having a little bit of comic relief. Those of you who know me well, I'm not the funny person. I'm not that funny. Although sometimes
yes, you are. You are very funny. People, they don't think you're funny, but you're hilarious to me.
Some people say, you know what Morgan calls me? He says, you're a funny bird. You're just a funny bird. And I said, babe, I don't know if you're laughing at me or you're laughing with me. I don't know about that. I was bullied. They made fun of me as a child. They used to call me Augie Doggy because, so I'm very traumatized when people laugh at me. But
you laugh at me?
You got a thick skin. You're laughable sometimes. But, and all kidding aside, sometimes you do have to laugh. Laughing is healing, quite frankly. And although I don't think I'm that funny, interesting enough, my friends often say that I'm funny because, I don't think I'm funny and I don't really get jokes. By the time I actually get a joke, they've got to tell me, the punchline, then it's not a joke anymore. And then I'm really kind of a goofy nerd. But my husband loves me. He loves the nerd in me, I think. It's all good. It's all good. Hey, Marcia. Laugh. We need to laugh. And then we need to breathe. So you all know now that we've got some people on, Lisa and Larissa and Sonia are on, and China, giving me the smiley faces, the hearts, and the thumbs up. Share this. Do your watch parties. Tag people. Let people know that we're on this Courageous Conversations Connect space and that we're actually having these quarantine talks. This helps with our algorithm. So the more that you all share, the more you let people know that we're on, the more people will join. And we're trying to create a safe space for us to have these courageous conversations. They're not always easy conversations to have, but we are stronger together, guys, right? And so if we are courageous enough to have a conversation, to talk about grief and loss and death and uncertainty and the fear of the unknown, this is giving other people permission to do the same. Does that make sense, guys? So we're being courageous here together. Babe, you were about to say something. What did you want to say? Oh, Morgan wants me to remind you guys that we are putting together a masterclass seminar. It's going to be next Friday. We're not sure.
Not sort of date to be determined.
To be determined. It's going to be sometime next week. Yeah. And date will be determined. The time will be determined.
There's going to be a registration coming out on Monday.
Monday, okay.
Morning, they'll have the opportunity to register for the free master class.
Gotcha. Okay, so Monday there will be registration coming out. Morgan and Daryl Montague are working on the registration for that, and that will come out on Monday. It will be sometime next week, and it's completely free. So we're going to take these concepts and we're going to dig deeper to utilize these concepts to help you to grow through the time that we're in. We understand that this is a marathon, not a sprint. We understand that this may get worse before it gets better. But what we want to do is we want to help you to come out of this experience better, not bitter, elevated, not depressed, right? And with a sense of hope, a sense of care and a sense of unity. And we're going to teach you how to do those things. And we're going to have a great time doing it, right? Because knowledge is power, right? But knowledge is not as powerful as it could be unless we actually take those skills and we apply them. So that's what we're going to be doing in the masterclass. You guys let us know if there's interest out there. Give us type in 1 for your level of interest. We want you all to. I'll be putting this together over the weekend. So we want to know what your interests are and what you want me to talk about in this class. Sonny says, I'm a first responder working from home. And I'm glad that you're safe, Sonny, and that the shout out is to all the first responders. I'm getting messages from more and more people with regards to the types of first responders, and we don't want to forget those people or render them invisible, like the postal workers, like the grocery store workers, like the flight attendants and the gate agents, and of course the doctors and the nurses, the mental health professionals, the pharmacists out there, those people who are putting their lives on the line because they need to be out there. They're essential people, right? Those persons that are working in nursing homes for our seniors, they're putting their lives on the line for us so that we have the privilege of staying home and being safe. So shout out to them. We're going to get into our positions, our breathing positions. I want everybody to sit in a very comfortable place. I want you to relax your hands. You can put them in the index finger to the thumb like this. You can put them like this on your lap or just along the side of you. Touch your belly. Feel that energy, right? This is something that you can do wherever you are throughout the day, is do a body scan. I ask people to do a body scan. Look at my nails, they're a mess because I can't go to the nail salon, but that's all right. I'm going to try to do it myself this weekend. But tap into the energy in your body to see where the tension is, where the free space is, where you're kind of loosening up the energy. If you're like me, you get migraines. I take magnesium for migraines. That helps me out a great deal. Stay hydrated, get lots of rest. But right now, tap into the energy, touch your belly, get comfortable, loosen yourselves up. And remember, we're breathing for all those persons out there that are sick and affected by the coronavirus that cannot breathe for themselves. We are breathing for our loved ones. We're going to hear stories more of people that we know who know people who are impacted by this virus that are either going to resolve it and grow through it or who are going to expire from it, right? And so we're breathing for them along with breathing for ourselves. So at the sound of my voice, everybody in the IG family, everybody in Morgan's Facebook family, my Facebook family, we're at the sound of my voice. I'm going to count to 3, and I'm going to ask everyone to take a deep breath in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Hold it for 3 seconds and then let it out as you breathe in the good intentions and the affirmation and the kindness and the joy and the love and the oxygen that you're breathing in that goes to the heart, the brain, the lungs, and all of your organs. And you're breathing out the carbon dioxide and the negativity of the fear and the unknown and all of the tension and the stress. We're breathing that out. Okay, let's do this, guys. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in through the nose. Deep breath. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. And out through the mouth. Feel that exhaling out the carbon dioxide. Breathe in. Hold it. And out. That felt good. Breathe in the oxygen. Hold it. And out. Breathe in through the nose. Nice deep breath. Hold it. And out through the mouth. One last time, guys. Make it count. Breathe in. Big deep breath. And out. Woo! That felt so good. Hey, VJ, good to see you. We're breathing, we're breathing, we're breathing. If we have the opportunity to breathe, that is a luxury right now. That is a privilege, that is an honor. These people that are getting this virus, they can't breathe. And if they don't have a ventilator to help them, or BiPAP or CPAP, then there's nothing sometimes their medical professionals can do for them to make them more comfortable. They can't breathe. We can breathe. Breathe as long as you can. The other thing that I want us to do, and I want you guys to shout out, give me smiley faces, give me thumbs up, give me hearts, right? Let other people know that we're on this platform. Do your watch parties, text chat, let people know that we're on so that they can actually experience this together with us. We are, in essence, really, in talking about the grief and loss, when talking about the fear of the unknown and the fear of the fear of the insecurities. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the smiley faces. I get energy from you guys too, right? Morgan and I started this process 3 weeks ago because we were feeling a little helpless, quite frankly. I was able to work with my clients, and that's a privilege and an honor to do that. You all know that. I'm sorry? Oh, okay, I don't know what you were saying. I was thinking about what we can do. We were thinking about what we can do. I can help my clients, but I wanted to help more. And I was seeing people, that were going out there and volunteering. I was like, what can we do? And we came up with this idea of the quarantine talks. Now, you all know that on every Tuesday, I'm with Charlie Lewis on his Love the Way You Live platform, his Corona Quarantine Chronicles, or Corona, got it wrong. Corona Chronicles.
You tongue-tied today, baby.
I'm a little tired.
Okay.
The Corona Chronicles, right? You all know that sometimes when you talk a lot for a living, and I've been doing a lot of talking on the screen, your brain gets tired. I heard somebody the other day talking about brain care, right? Getting rest is brain care. Drinking water is brain care. Taking care of your brain. Meditating is brain care. And so, I'm a little tongue-tied because maybe I'm a little tired, and my usually weekends don't start until Sunday. Really is one day because I work on Saturday most weekends. But it's all good because this is an honor and a privilege to be able to do this and to create this platform for us to talk. So I've been on, those of you who did not see, thank you for the hearts. They give me energy. They give me life. Thank you for the hearts, the smiley faces, everybody. You guys can go on the YouTube page and the website to actually both get the book. Well, the website, you can get the book, Courageous Conversations Connect. Go to Dr. Argie at drargieconnects.com. That's DRARGIE connects.com. You can also go on the Ask Dr. Argie YouTube page for any of the YouTube segments that I've been doing on the Today Show or the CNN?
Actually, right now, most of the segments are on the website.
Okay.
If you go to the website directly, YouTube won't be completely.
Okay, got you. So go on the website. You can see the segments that I've done on CBS, on ABC, on Fox, on CNN. I've been rolling. I've been doing some radio stuff with Patty Jackson, of course, the senator. I was also on with Tiffany Bacon. So I'm doing the media stuff. We try to make sure that you guys. Thank you for my hearts, guys. I think I see BJ. I see a lot of people giving me hearts and smiley faces. I appreciate it, giving me life there. So go on those platforms. You can find that information. You can see some of the stuff, and if I can post it on the Facebook page or on the IG page, we'll post those as well. Anybody? So do you have a question? Is there my question? Okay. So what I want to ask you guys to do is I want you to tell me if you are struggling with uncertainty, if you are struggling with maybe some fears of unknown, if you're struggling with grief or loss. I think I see my soror Valda on. Hey soror, hey my fans. If you're struggling with that, where's your struggle? What are you struggling with? Talking, hey Tara, you're on. If you're struggling with talking about this to other people, if you're struggling with just being in the home by yourself or in the home with other people and seeing the number of people, if what's coming across your Facebook page is that someone you know is sick or someone you know has died due to this coronavirus. There are people that are dying that we don't know, like this surgeon and Ellis Marcellus. You know, these are big legendary figures in our community. But a life is a life. Whether it's somebody that you know or somebody that you don't know, it's still a struggle because never before have we experienced this much grief and loss. And we started out this talking about the grief and loss of just the life that once knew. That this is for long haul, and so we may not have the same freedoms to walk around, go to restaurants. They'll open up again, right? The economy will open up again. We'll be able to go to restaurants again. We'll be able to go to parks and do some of the things that we wanted to do. This too shall pass. This will not last forever. It is a temporary inconvenience due to for long-term gain. But while we're in this temporary inconvenience, we actually can do some things to help each other and to help ourselves. And one of the things that we can do is we can stay home, stay well, stay safe, and stay alive. If we do all of those things, then everything else is recoverable. And we then are able to help each other. And in the world of technology, quite frankly, we still can stay connected. Staying socially distant or physically distant doesn't mean social isolation. It doesn't mean social psychological isolation. It doesn't mean emotional or relational isolation. We are stronger together and we can do this. So with that said, let me know. Hey, Gilda's on. Good morning. This is the Chris Conversations Connect space where we're having the quarantine talk. So I want to read something to you from the Courageous Conversations Connect book. When I wrote this a while back and launched in October, I'll be honest, I didn't know how timely it would be to be helping people to have these courageous conversations. I knew what I had seen in practice for over 25 years. I knew what people were struggling with. I sort of had a cheat sheet of what works and what doesn't work when you're talking about families and couples. And I will say, quite frankly, that for the families that were struggling before this, more than likely they're going to struggle during this, right? Because they are already on a shaky foundation. And so even these quarantine talks, or for those who are still struggling, were struggling before and struggling even more, to give you at least some coping skills. We all need coping skills. That really is exactly what it says. It's the ability to cope with a crisis or fear or unknown in a way that helps us to grow through it. Not just go through it, but grow through it. So this week 39 specifically talks about losing a loved one and preserving you and your relationship in the midst of loss. That's what it's talking about. This book right here is for those. I haven't been asking people since I wrote it for people to do weekly, since everyone's so busy. Now we have more time. So as opposed to doing it, taking 52 weeks every week, reading a different courageous conversation and then having a different call to action and then journaling, take 52 days. Why not do one every day? We have time now to do that, which will help you grow through this process together. But I want to read a couple of excerpts from it. The first part is the courageous conversation in of itself. It says, what do we do when our spouse, our children, our best friends, parents, aunties, uncles, etc. die? And how does this impact our relationships? That's the first part. Then it says, I go down a little bit farther. Trust the process of relief. They call it a process for a reason. There will be a roller coaster ride of emotions from anger, denial, bargaining, depression, and finally acceptance. And now a new one, the inventory grief. And in between those emotions, there may be many other emotional states that you don't quite understand. There is a power in the process of talking about death. And sometimes we're talking about the death of somebody physically, and sometimes we're talking about the death of the life that we actually knew and rebirthing a new life. The more we process our grief by talking about our experiences, the more palatable it becomes. So that's why we talk about it, right? I say to clients oftentimes, let's talk it out so you act it out. Let's be curious so that you're not furious. These seem like a play on words. The reality of it is they are very, very meaningful. So weird, because if we don't process some of these toxic emotions, then we're going to act it out or act in. And that's where the anger comes from, or the depression. And if we're not curious about why we're so triggered or what's happening, sometimes it causes us to not really be the best version of ourselves. So taking the risk to share your pain will only deepen your level of intimacy with your partner or your loved ones, but that may be hard. So what do? Here's your call to action. The call to action is, I say, begin externalizing your emotions by writing them down in your journal. You all know I have everybody journaling. If you don't have a journal, get one, get a notepad, have two journals, your processing journal, and then have your gratitude journal. Because the fact is, if you have the ability to breathe, to speak, to still write, you're blessed, and there's something to be grateful for. And guess what? Quite frankly, when we're talking about decreasing anxiety, sometimes it's just simply a matter of figuring out what you have to be grateful for, because that gives hope to see another day. It gives us inspiration and motivation and aspiration. So write them down. Okay, gotcha. This will help you to track your progress while also preventing those toxic feelings from being bottled up inside your mind, body, and spirit. Talk with your partner or your loved one confident about your emotional state. You have to talk about it. Seek out grief therapy if you need it. Those of us mental health professionals, we're on the front lines too. We're just at home doing it, which is a blessing, but we get still to help people to grow through this process through grief therapy. It's really, really important. It takes true strength, not weakness, to seek help. Just like there are rainbows on the other side of storms, you will go through this and be stronger on the other side of your grief. This grief journey does not have to be the final chapter of your life. And grow through this process, envision your life and the relationship and what it will look like on the other side of grief. And then focus on that mark. So that's your call to action. Morgan, you had someone was talking.
I had a question or statement. Allison, I'm struggling with fears of uncertainty. We had a virtual town hall meeting with our CEO yesterday. He told us we are not receiving merit increases. Travel is suspended indefinitely into November. She also says 2 of our offices closed to remote only, so my job security is on the line, and I'm a single mom.
Gotcha.
Major fear.
Yeah, thank you, Allison. We are going to keep Allison and all of us in prayer. The reality of it is, again, we have to recalibrate and refocus our energy. And certainty. I was watching CNN, and the guy was in the food line, and he said he tapped out his expenses. He was going to the food cupboards to get food for his family. He said the biggest fear, just like Allison, is the fear fear of uncertainty. What's happened? How is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? When will this be over? Can we get back to our old lives? And none of us really knows the answer. The information is changing all the time. But here's what my sister, I don't know if you all know, my sister Kimmy is a 2-time cancer survivor. And she actually experienced cancer during the same time that my mom was extremely sick. She had surgery, I think it was maybe about 5 days before my mom passed away. And I said to her when she first got cancer, first time she had breast cancer, this is her story, but she shares it with most people. She said she was scared, and so she wanted to keep working. And she was getting frustrated because she was trying to make all these doctor's appointments, and I was her accountability partner, and we're going to do this together. I was in school at the same time, but I was like, we'll make every doctor's appointment together. We'll do this together. You will survive this, and you will thrive after this. And the one thing that I told her is I said, your job has changed. She's like, but I got to go to work. I got to get my work done. And I said, no, your job right now is to live, because she had my niece, my 2 nieces, Nicole and Morgan. She had 2 small children at the time. I said, your job description has changed immediately, right? And your job description now is to live, to do everything you can to survive this, and then thrive after that, so that you can see your children grow. So you need to recalibrate that energy. Let's control the controllables. We're all fearful of the uncertain things and of the unknown. Then recalibrate so that we can focus on what we can control versus concentrating on what we can't control. Because that all concentrating on what we can't control is going to do, it is going to elevate our anxiety. So can we create a structure for our homes? Can we get some work done at home? Can we have food to eat and schedule time to sit down and eat with our families together, so that we can process how this is impacting us? There are some things that we can do, and quite frankly, we have to care now more about what we can do versus and care less about what we can't do. All of it is energy. And just like I said to my sister when she got it, she was like, okay, we're doing this. I was like, yes, we're doing this together. And by the way, Allison, for you guys out there, Ebony on Hey Ebony, Larissa, Gilda, Tara, Billy Joe, April, none of us gets to do this alone. That is the beauty, that this virus has caused us to separate physically, dig deep and double down on connecting emotionally and relationally. We do not have to do this alone. And even those persons who are living alone, those persons need to reach out for help. All of us who knows there's somebody living at home, reach out to them, check with them, find an opportunity to face chat with them, text them. We have text. Teach them how to do the Google Duo. Let's do this together. And what Allison said, we need to name it first. In order to actually deal with it, I say in order to heal, you have to feel, but you can't heal what you don't reveal. So yes, we have to name our fear. We have to talk about what we're feeling, all that anxiety, because as we talk about it, it can dissipate, right? And that doesn't mean that tomorrow you won't wake up anxious again. It means for today, there's an opportunity for us to decrease. Set our intentions for the day. You all know I've been talking for the last 3 weeks about mindfulness, right? And I've been talking about the 5 M's: mindfulness, meditation, movement, get that exercise in, right? Then meaningful engagements. Are you engaging with people who will tell you the right information, the accurate information, but also have a spirit of affirmation? It's not just information, it's affirmation. It's inspiration. It's motivation. Then we get to transformation. Because the truth is, we're all going to be transformed from this. We really are. You can't grow through this crisis and this trauma that we're experiencing without being transformed in one way, shape, or form. So, yes, we're fearful. Yes, we're anxious. Yes, we're emotional. but we're also going to elevate on the things that we can control. Larissa says, thank you for an excellent book that teaches us how to make life better for ourselves and a tool to help others. Well, thank you. Thank you for reading, for sharing it, and thank you for utilizing it as a tool. That's what it's meant for, yeah.
Rose Pendergrass Miller says, grow what you go through and all.
Say that again, babe.
She says, right here, she says, grow what you go through and own it all.
Okay, so that's something similar to what I say is that we have to, and thank you for that, we have to grow through it. Rose Pendergrass Miller. We have to grow through it, right? Not just go through it. So going through it is like, I can't wait to get to the other side, and you don't learn anything. Growing through it is what you learned in these 3 weeks about yourself. Where are you agitated? Where are you fearful? Where are you upset? But where are you strong? Where are you resilient? Where are you creative? Have you doubled down on having healthier conversations with the people that you love? By the way, if anybody's holding on to something, let it go. Be like Elsie. From Frozen. Let it go, because life is short. There is no time. Time out for the beefs, for disagreements, for the unforgiveness, because we don't know if tomorrow is promised to us. So if there's somebody that you need to forgive, if it's somebody that needs to forgive you, do it, get it done, and then use your life and the goodness that's inside of you as an offering. Text some folks and let them know that you love them. Text them and let them know that you're just thinking about them. It doesn't take a moment, but 30 seconds maybe to text someone and say thank you. Send some smiley face, some hearts. By the way, send some hearts, some smiley faces. Share this, because this conversation is about love. At the end of the day, yes, the topic is grief and fear, grief and loss, and the fear of the unknown, and uncertainty and insecurities. But guess what? None of us grows through this life without fears, insecurities, unknowns. And by the way, vulnerability is an act of love and it's an act of strength. And if we're able to show our vulnerability to one another, we can go deeper in our level of intimacy with each other. That means crying. That means sharing our fears. That means also sharing our hopes, wishes, and dreams, and saying, when we roll through this and we'll be together, we're going to be better for it. Larissa says, Argie says, hey, I saw your interview on CNN. Can you remember me, the 5 or 6 measures to take while we are alone at home, please? I need to avoid it, anxiety. So, okay, so Abby is saying, I think, and you tell me if I'm right, Abby, that 5 or 6 measures to do when you're home alone, and decrease or to avoid the anxiety. So I think that's really important, because we all are pretty anxious, and if you're alone and you're home, then your anxiety may look a little different than the people that are home and they're with other people. So one of the things I'm saying to people that are home alone is recognizing that even though you're alone, you don't have to be lonely. So you can use these social media platforms to connect with other people. There's a lot of free concerts out there. I know Anthony Hamilton did a free concert. DJs that are on. Kim did a free concert. So tune in to connect. Well, impromptu, but tune into those places and spaces where you can connect with other people through social media platform. And if it's not, entertaining, if you will, then if you are connected with someone from the outside world, ask them to download Zoom so that you can face chat them, right? I'm asking people to play games with one another, have a cocktail hour. It's Friday night. Go on your date night. I saw somebody on a date night to Kim's concert. But if you're home with yourself, then date yourself. That's what I actually used to do when I was single. Is I would date myself. Go out, take a walk, take in nature. Many of us have not had time to actually take in the beauty of nature, but it's springtime, so the weather's pretty decent. And although they have said they've upped the protocol in some ways, because they're saying now that the coronavirus can be spread through talking and breathing. And I think what they're specifically talking about is smaller droplets. If you're in close environment and you're talking, there's smaller droplets that go into the atmosphere and they have about a 6 feet reach before they fall. So if you're walking right past someone and they're talking and you're not having a mask on or what have you, then you could potentially inhale it. Because think about it, we're inhaling all these toxins every day. You just can't see them. You're not a scientist per se, so you can't see what you're inhaling. But think about during pollen season when we get allergies, it's because we're inhaling the pollen. So it makes sense that we could possibly, if you're not keeping your safe physical distance from people, that could be symptomatic, that could be a way that you could get yourself infected. So we just have to be safe. And if you don't have it now, you don't have to have it. Hey, Clinton. Hey, Jamel. Good to see you, and thanks for joining. Morgan?
Yeah, question over here on Facebook. Rose Congrats says, we cannot reach our full potential with our hands and minds filled with everything.
Gotcha. So Rose Congrats said she was specifically giving a commentary about reaching our full potential if we're thinking about the past. And so to go back to what I was asking about with the decreasing of anxiety, it's related to connecting on social media, but it's also take a hobby. Begin to fill your day, strategize with what your day specifically is going to look like, so that you're not spending too much idle time. I had people in the very beginning of this sleeping up, saying, "Oh, this is vacation. This is time to just kind of relax." But now people are bored, and whether they be children, whether they be adults, they did not create the schedules that I suggested if they were on my platform or our platform, and so now they're saying, "Okay, I'm going to do the schedule." I would say that Abby or anyone else out there that is home alone, get a schedule for yourself. Take up a hobby. Do some things that you said that you were too busy to do. For me, I'm planning gardening because that is therapeutic to me. For you, it may be something else. My BFF she's knitting. I think it's knitting or crocheting. So she's making blankets. So she has many things to do because she has children. But for those people that are specifically alone, there are things that you can do. And also set your intentions with meditation. You can level up and learn a new language, quite frankly. The sky's the limit about things that you can do with time when you now have time. So get creative about that. Do some reading. Right now, you can read books on the Kindle if you have, or online if you have it, to fill the space and the energy with positive connections with other people. These are things that you can do, and certainly processing. And I would not underscore enough that if you are in need of therapeutic intervention, there are clinical specialists out there that are still doing this work, just doing it remotely where everyone can be safe, but is a good place to start. Priest is on as well. And I wanted to specifically talk about the excerpt that I read from the book and the call to action. For those so guys, if you have any questions, I want you, if you are dealing specifically with loss right now, you're dealing with anxiety, if you know someone that's lost someone to this virus and your anxiety has gotten elevated with regard to either you coming in contact with them or someone else coming in contact with them, please send in your commentary any question that you might have about that. That kind of happened to Morgan and I when we were in New York. We came in contact with someone who's in contact with someone who has since passed away. Bless them and their family. Someone who worked for the Today Show. And so we were very, very vigilant about coming back here and making sure that we were safe, making sure that our families were safe, and making sure that we kept our distance. That doesn't mean that we're not anxious. Oh, some people that I'm breaking up. Tell pieces that I'm breaking up. Are more people seeing me break up or not hearing me on this platform clearly? Give me thumbs up or write in the text chat if I'm breaking up. That happened over a week ago where I was bringing up. So sometimes I don't know whether it's because I'm not close to the computer and my head is moving because I talk with my hands. So that sometimes can make things choppy. But let me know, guys, if I break it up. Yeah, Mark.
Kania is love out and said, I'm curious how our lives look like once we're able to go out. What are your thoughts?
Gotcha. Okay, so Kania said she's curious about what our lives will look like once we're able to go out. So here's the thing that I want people to remember. And again, let me know if I'm breaking up for you or for others if I'm breaking up. You all can still go out. We can still go out. We just can't go out and irresponsibly without our masks on, because now they're saying that we can wear masks even if we don't think that we have the virus, to protect other people, and because people are able to be asymptomatic and be carriers, so we should all do that. But you can go for a walk, you can go to the park, you can go for a drive if you're fortunate enough to have a vehicle. I actually think, I've been thinking about that, Morgan doesn't even know, that I was thinking about when we take our date night or date day. At some point tomorrow, I'm working all day, but at some point I need to get out of the house. So we're going to be going. I'm looking to see if anybody's commented on whether they still hear me. Okay. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Carolyn. How are you? I hope you're staying safe. Tell Pop we said hello and we love him and we love you too. So you all, we can go out. Now, has our life exponentially changed? Yeah. Has our life exponentially changed because we can't do the things that we once did? Absolutely, right? But this too shall pass. Again, like I said, this is temporary inconvenience for long-term gain. So the long-term gain is that as long as we're alive and well, then this will pass and there will be a time. But remember, it is a marathon, not a sprint. So what they're saying is it could be a second wave, it could go into the summer, it could go into the fall. I think that we need to be doing our due diligence to wrap our heads around a new mindset. If you all were last week, I talked about the 4 A's, right? Acceptance, first accepting that this is going to be our norm, then adjusting, resetting our mindset, basically. So you sort of begin to think about your new norm and what it's going to look like and what it'll look like when we won't ever probably go back to the way that it used to be, just like in 9/11, but we can begin to adapt to the new norm, and that can be as good as well. And then the third A, which is adapting, creating a new tactic, a new strategy, a new schedule for what your life is going to look like now, and then having an appreciation, that's the fourth A, an appreciation for how far you've come in the last 3 to 4 weeks. Do you have your schedule? Do your children have your schedule? What are the wins, quite frankly? What are the wins? Are you eating more? Are you eating healthier? Are you drinking more water and hydrating? Do your children have a school now? Have you learned a deeper level of patience? Are you sitting down and having meals together and talking about how you feel? Those are wins. So we have to celebrate the wins here so that when our life does go back to when things are opened up and we're actually going to restaurants again and going to the movies, right? We still need to be conscious of touching our face. We need to be conscious of washing our hands. I think we'll maybe one day be the cleanest society ever because we didn't do these things. I mean, how many of y'all want to go on it? I don't remember ever washing my hands for 20 minutes, 20 seconds and singing Happy Birthday and getting to all the, I would wash, but I wouldn't wash my hands like surgeons wash their hands, but I'm doing it now. So I think when we think about the aftermath of all of this, Janelle Melcy, God be glory, Dianita is on as well. Hey, Dianita, thanks for joining. I think in the aftermath of all of this, what we will learn is that we can be apart and still connected. We can be disconnected physically, but we can be connected on a deeper level emotionally. Well, I said financially, but maybe in the finances of this, because we're all counting our pennies, but emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually. Yes, babe.
Yeah, Alicia says, thank you for making going out clear. I think there are so many mixed messages. Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah, go out. Get some fresh air. I'm going to do that today.
Keep your social distance.
Yeah, keep your social distance. Now, the people that you're in a household with, you're in the household with them. Now, interestingly enough, if somebody...
I ain't keeping my social distance.
As Morgan said, he's not keeping his social distance from me.
No, I'm real close to you, babe.
But guess what? Guess what? We do take our temperatures. We do take our temperatures several times. We've been doing that. He says he's going to be real close with me. Yes, I know. My husband. But listen, thank God for him. I thank God for him because I would be home alone. I would find ways not to be lonely. But if I weren't married, and I take that as a privilege and an honor every single day that we get to be on this journey in the middle of a pandemic and a crisis together. And I thank God that he's allowed me to be able to be partnered with someone like my husband that is working with me. We work together every day. Now, sometimes we need to create some physical distance because we're getting on each other's nerves. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't want to do this with anybody else. So I thank you for that. For those of you who have partners or family members, tell them you love them now. Use your words. Use your verbal expression to show your love and care, because there are other people who don't have that privilege because their partners have perished because of this crisis.
Joe Bud just came on. What's up, Joe?
Hey, Joe. Good morning. Welcome to the Courageous Conversation Connects.
Yeah, Allison, I think you want to kind of dig into it. He's concerned with we're going to be a society of non-affectionate, junk-phobic folks. You know, that's how people are really concerned with what the new normal will be like. I'm going to, not love each other with these two.
Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Okay, I got you. Well, here's the thing about that, and I think that's a really good thing. I think we need to expand on that a little bit more. We want to be mindful of people's time. We go on this platform from, for 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the level of interest. So I'm going to put that as a topic to talk about, because I'm not going to claim that, Allison, that we're going to be these germophobic, non-affectionate people. I do think we have to recalibrate the way that we do things, and I think in some ways what it is causing us to do is to be creative with how we actually use our words to tell people how much we care, how much we love them, what we think about. Because what has happened before is we would say, I can show you better than I can tell you, right? Or children will show you more than they will tell you. And sometimes what we've learned is that, okay, if I love you, if I hug you, that means I love you, right? Or if I kiss you, or dap you up, then that means that I'm showing my affection. Now we have to use our words. We have to double down on learning how to actually express ourselves. So therefore, we have to think about what we're thinking. We have to think about what we're thinking, because what we think ultimately has to do with what we believe, and what we believe ultimately correlates with what we do. I think I'm kind of losing people because I'm going to move in and out, but I see a lot of hearts and smiley faces, which I appreciate. Listen, we don't have to let this thing win, and even in the aftermath of it, we will have leveled up on our ability to connect with each other in a different way. And then eventually, we may get back to some stuff. But quite frankly, right now, we're getting back to the basics of what my grandparents used to do. Sitting on the porch, having a conversation with the people in your own house. Because what really happened is that we lost the connection with people in our own homes, and we became closer with our coworkers, people outside of our homes, opposed to people that we actually live with. And the truth is, and I see it every day, that we would treat a stranger better than we would treat the people that we say love, or the people that we vowed to be with for a lifetime. So it's going to require for all of us to find new and creative and innovative ways to love each other. But one thing for sure, two for certain, if we're here, y'all see my t-shirt? If we're here, we need to love on each other. We need to use love is the ultimate elixir, the way that we can create. Now, I see that this, I can tell that this is breaking up. I'll say the last minute comments that some people are saying. Bev Weatherly said thank you, and Jamel said you are definitely God's Mouthpiece, thank you for your obedience. Thank you all. Thank you. Morgan, see anybody else with last comments?
Last comments on my feed here. Just saw where Nadine said, hi, Morgan, blessings to you, and so Dr. Argie.
Nadine said blessings to me.
Good morning. And let's see here.
Okay. All right. I want to give everybody a shout out before we go, and then I want to let you go so that we can go on with our day. You all know I start seeing clients at noon. Loretta says communication is conducive to understanding. It absolutely is. Oh, they laugh. Oh, they go on their own. Ah! Okay. Face is still here, but that's why I started getting a little bit big. We're at an hour, 61 minutes, right? So that's why it's not allowing me to stay on. So listen, guys. This is. We will be back on the Quarantine Talk, Courageous Conversations Connect Space platform on Monday at 10 o'clock. So tune in. In the meantime, we may come to you in another space at an odd hour and we'll let you know just if something is in our hearts and our minds to talk with you about. And please stay home if you can. Stay safe, stay well, stay alive. Shout out all the first responders and those persons out there that are on the front lines for us. We don't take it lightly. We thank you. We breathe for you and we pray for and with you. All right. Have a beautiful day on purpose from my heart to yours. Love you guys.